extending out the level area. I came up with the idea of experimenting with the bamboo. So we'll just go down to the leading edge and I'll show you more. So I've used exactly the same principle as with creating the framework for the vines. Like I said, I'd show you the failures, if you want to call them that, because it's all a learning curve. I put 10 bamboo canes, the thickest ones, on the verticals. The mistake I made is to put them too close together, because the medium section cane, it's too much. As you go higher up, the bends become too much and it actually snaps, but it's not snapped right through. And then a lot of these, apart from this one here, I've bent over and put into the ground and compacting it down as I go, and then with secondary and tertiary supports, and then a load of rocks, and eventually this will have fruit trees on this leading edge, so the roots will also help to hold the whole thing together, and in time it should settle. Behind the cane I'm adding rocks, so it will give the effect of a sort of like a castle wall, shall we say, and I will let nature sort of, with the water, take their clay soil down in between the rocks so it acts like a cement. So far so good. And then my plan is to carry on creating a series of terraces with loads of fruit bushes and fruit trees, putting that word windfall into its true context, where eventually we'll be able to just hold out a hand and nature will freely give. That's far easier than even going down the vegetable route of digging and pulling up and planting and pulling up again, and like with potatoes, how much you have to disturb the soil. But I would personally say the fruitarian route is the best one. My experience of eating a few of the oranges from the trees here, the energy that you feel in the physical body is just beautiful. Anyway, another little short video. So that's the experimental rebar. Time will tell whether it's a success or not, but I stand or fall on my own creations and take responsibility for anything that happens as to how well I've made it or not made it. People say that the earth is stationary, but if you look closely, it's always moving slightly. Just look at the covering you get of leaves to start with as they fall down. Then obviously you get topsoil blown on top of it, and it just builds up in layers and layers. So the earth is always moving, although it appears to be static. Another example I feel of the duality of this reality. It would appear stationary, and yet imperceptibly it is moving little by little, just the way nature does things, a little bit at a time. And over time you see the changes, you see the growth, you see the decay, you can see the continuous process. It's always moving in one form or another.